I had a friend come over and stay the night, and she stayed the night, and then the next day she had said, "Come over, let's hang out." Okay, didn't think nothing of it. And so then I went over to her house, and then we went for a walk, and then we saw the two guys that had raped me on the greenbelt. And I had noticed that she kind of gave them like a signal that we were going back to her house. And so when we got back to her house, we came inside, and she's like, "Can you go get a CD out of my room?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." And then I went into her room, and I heard the door close behind me. And it kind of like startled me at first. And then like as I'm grabbing the CD and I'm turning around, there's two guys coming at me and just grabbing me. And then all I remember is they threw me down to the ground, and they raped me, and they got a good laugh at it. And I just remember them telling me, "You better not tell, or we're coming after you." And then later on that day, I confided in a friend, and I told her what had happened, and she went with me to tell my mom. And after that, we went straight to the hospital, and there was a lot of problems, and so I was there for quite some time. Like, I had a lot of bleeding, had to get lots of stitches. I've got scars on my face from it. Once I got out, about 3 weeks later, I returned back to school. I had missed 7 weeks of school, my 6th grade year. And I went back to school, and every day it was nothing but bullying and people pushing me around. There was one girl that threw me up against the lockers and told me that, "You deserve this. You got what you deserved. Ha, you got raped." Before I returned back to school, we winded up having a meeting with all my teachers and my counselor, and they went from there and changed my classes. So I wasn't in the same classes with the girl who had set it up. And so once I returned back to school, she wasn't allowed to be anywhere near me. And if she was caught, then, she'd be in trouble. But she taunted me my whole school life, and nothing was ever done. We finally got a court date like 3 years later, and they got 5 years. One of them got 5 years, and one of them got let off because they say he didn't physically do anything to me. He just held me down. And the one guy that got jail time, he was only in there for 3.5 years, and he got out. And when he got out, I lived in nothing but fear. He wound up showing up at my job just to make it known that he was out. And when he showed up at my job, I freaked out, and they wound up calling my boyfriend and telling him to come get me. And ever since then, I'm scared to go anywhere alone. I don't like being home alone. A couple weeks after he made the appearance at my job, he ended up getting arrested again for violating parole. So as far as I know of now, he's in there. So that gives me a little bit of ease to know that I don't have to watch my back everywhere I go. Once I got out, my parents had decided to put me in counseling, and I went to counseling, every Monday for about 12 weeks. And after 12 weeks, she just told me, I don't need you anymore, you don't need me,
go on with your life. It made me feel like, she didn't care to help me when I needed help. I didn't feel like anybody understood me. Like, the one friend that went with me to tell my mom what had happened, she was the only one there for me, the only one that stood by my side. Everybody else just thought it was funny to pick on me and taunt me through school and bully me. About like a month after I returned back to school, the bullying got really bad, so I stopped going for like 2 weeks. And then I went back to school and finished out my middle school year. And then when high school came, it got worse because she was there, and the guys who raped me, their family members were there, and they thought it was okay to say, "Oh, look what my brother did. How does that make you feel?" And my 10th grade year just got so bad. I just, threw in the towel and said, I can't do it no more. And I winded up dropping out of school. But now, I went back to school, and I graduated. It's been 5 years since the rape happened. And at first, I used to have really bad nightmares. Like, I couldn't sleep alone. And whenever everybody else in my house went to bed, that's when I went to bed. I didn't stay up. Didn't go out with my friends. I stayed home. Didn't go nowhere. And I went from having nightmares, on a daily basis. And now that I talk about this more and I express my feelings on it, and, I cry about it when I need to, it's just the nightmares have gone away, They still come every once in a while, but they're going away. I find my hope about praying about it and then going and talking to people and just knowing that God is protecting me and He's not going to let anything else happen to me, and that I'm not alone. I'm not the only one out there. If you have a friend that's been through this situation, you need to be there for them. You need to talk to them. You need to make them know that they're not alone and they're not the only person that's going through this, and there's people out there that want to help them, and it's good to talk about it. I'm Caitlin, and I have a voice.